Lee at Iridium. Hope everyone's doing all right today. Look who I've got with me. I've got Jam, Dom, and Mark. How you doing, guys? All right?
Hey, guys.
Yes, okay, yeah. Hi, everyone.
What day is
Very
it? You ain't
good, thank
drinking.
you.
You ain't drinking again, are you, Mark? It ain't the live stream. What's going on?
It's just juice.
All right, okay.
Uh-huh.
So pretty good subject we're going to talk about. Now, normally, I don't know about you guys, but we kiss arse a lot on this channel, don't we? Every band gets their arses kissed 99% of the time, how good they are, how good an album is. So we thought, well, I thought, let's do something a little bit different. Let's do something a little bit negative, although, you know, it happens. Not everyone's perfect. So we're going to talk about bad songs on great albums. I don't actually know what I'm going to give this the title yet, but it's going to be something along them lines. But there's a lot of reasons these choices are done. So I went through the rules before, and the only thing we can't do is choose a song that's been overplayed, because most of the time these songs that we can't listen to that are overplayed, we actually like, didn't we, at some point in time. So this is more of it is literally a bad song on a great album. It could be that it doesn't fit the album sound at all. It's just like a sore thumb, if you like. Or it could be that it's a good song, but for that band, it's just not good enough. You're right with all them sort of, there might be a few like different sort of things we're going to talk about, but I know my list sort of fits a few of them.
Yeah.
So we're not going to go on forever, because we might have a show 2, I'm hoping, but we're going to probably do about 5, or we're going to go for about an hour at the most. So we're going to go around the houses. We might have repeats, but that's why we've got a bit of a longer list than 5. There's going to be no honourable mentions. We're just going to end it at 5. So I've got Jam being first on my screen. Go for it, mate. What's your first choice?
Okay, my first choice is Iron Maiden from 1982's Number of the Beast.
Controversial.
A lot of people's favourite Iron Maiden albums. Not myself. I prefer some of the later ones. But it's really good, a very good, strong album. But the track I'm going for is the opening track, Invaders. There's probably 2 tracks in it that aren't as good as the others, but Invaders is a very unmemorable opening track when you consider all the great opening Iron Maiden tracks on the albums. I just think Steve Harris doesn't even like the song himself. I don't think they ever played it, which is a bit weird. They might have done on the original tour. I don't think they did, actually, because I think I've seen a video.
No, I just read an article just last night. They had a whole list of album by album what songs they haven't done off of albums, and they've never done this, which was the opening track.
Yeah,
on the album. It's so weird, but
it's weird. I mean, I think I would have opened with Number of the Beast or Run to the Hills or something, but it's a strange one.
Oh, I think Number of the Beast would be a perfect opener for this album.
As well. Yeah,
I actually do like the song. I'm not saying it's anywhere near their best song. It's nowhere near. I actually quite like it. The only it gets the piss ripped out of it because of the chorus, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Invaders. It gets a bit of stick because of that.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. It's quite fresh to me, that song, because it's probably one of my least listened to songs on the album. Whereas you said Number of the Beast and Run to the Hills.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Yeah. but there's a reason why I haven't heard it a lot, because I skip it.
Exactly. And of course,
it's not known as a great song, is it?
The other one on here, Gangland's not particularly good either, and that wasn't even going to be on the album either. It should have been Total Eclipse apparently instead of Gangland's. So there you go.
That would have been a better choice. Love that song.
Yeah.
But a good start, and what better band to pick than Iron Maiden for a bad song?
Exactly, yeah.
So obviously, I'd love. There's going to be some upset people probably in the comments below, but that's what it's all about.
It sounds like the cat's got her voice back. Yeah.
No, it hasn't. It's still got a sore throat, so it's better than the usual meow. But it's had a sore throat.
Oh, it's just a different meow. It's like a strangled meow.
6 days now. 6 days now of a sore throat. I don't know when to get worried. I'm not really sure, but.
How did she tell you that she has a sore throat?
It just sounds like it's like
okay. Oh man.
So good choice anyway, Jam. Invaders. Yeah, great. Excellent one. Iron Maiden, man. Right, okay. All right, what you got then, Dom?
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah, sorry, you're next in my little table.
All right, yeah, no worries. Okay, so Yeah, even more than Iron Maiden. This is, I believe, this is the best-selling hard rock album of all time.
Oh wow.
This is AC/DC Back in Black.
Oh.
Oh,
Let
dear.
me put my love into you.
Oh, I like
Never
that song.
thought this song fit on the album. Is anyone vomiting yet? Or? Just, 9 out of 10 songs are just stellar. Some of the best rock songs ever created on Earth. I just think it's a subpar song. Stylistically, I don't think it fits in. I think the only thing is that if Bon had sung it, he might have put some of his like sleazy kind of, let me put my love into you. It seems like more of a Bon song. And I'm not saying, I love Brian Johnson, so this is not a knock at all. But I think this may have worked if he had put a bit of his, real kind of sleazy, little schoolgirl kind of thing in there, But as it stands, it's just kind of a weak, almost I don't know. I've just never liked it. And I don't know. Do y'all love this song?
I do. I love it.
Yeah.
But
I love it, but I certainly don't hate it.
No.
do you know the song that apparently
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I just think it doesn't fit into this classic album. I think of all the tracks, there's just one that just doesn't do it for me.
The thing is, like you said, this is what it's about. When it's such a good album as well, something that's a bit subpar is going to stand out. But do you know the song that actually a lot of fans say is the weakest song on the album? What do you reckon it is?
I hope it's not Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution.
Yeah.
Really?
Because that is way up there for me.
Oh, you like your rock and roll songs?
Oh yeah, of course. Got rock and roll in the title.
Oh yeah. Well, I do love songs about rock and roll. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, controversial, but we all have our opinion. I just don't think that song is anywhere near as good as the other 9.
Yeah. Well, a great album though, mate. What a brilliant, good album to choose, because they're the ones, aren't they, that some people think are just 10 out of 10s, but there you go. Good choice.
Yeah, I don't think anyone is untouchable. Even my favorite band's favorite albums of all time, there's very few that you can stay perfect,
Totally agree. Totally agree. But remember, this is sort of like near enough a one song on a classic album, because there's loads of classic. If an album's got loads, of bad songs, it's not going to be on this list, is it? Because it's about that track that's a bit shit on a good album.
Yeah.
So, Mark, what you got, mate? What are you going to hit us with?
All right, I'm going to get an obvious one out of the way. We've talked about this one in the past, but this is my favorite band of all time, one of the greatest albums of all time. Black Sabbath, Mob Rules. This album almost ranks as high as Heaven and Hell with Me, with the exception of one track, Slipping Away. It is the only song in the entire Dio Sabbath catalog that I just don't like. There are a few others from Dehumanizer and then The Devil You Know that I don't rank all that high, but I don't dislike. I dislike Slipping Away.
Oh, do you? You actively dislike it? It's not just like it's
I have active disdain for this song.
Wow.
I don't like the
That's
rhythm.
strong.
I don't like the chorus. I don't like anything about it. I'm sorry. It just does not fit the rest of the brilliance of this album.
Yeah.
Do you know that there's one bit I'm a bit like you with this song completely, but there's one bit I do like it. I actually like the chorus. I actually like the slipping away, but the rest of it, the verses and that, I can't stand them.
Yeah.
I think, and you're right. I think
This doesn't measure up to the rest of the album.
No. Here's Vampy, by the way. Look.
Yeah.
Here's Vampy. Oh, here he goes. Yeah, I mean, obviously that's Mob Rules is ranked very highly in everyone's catalogue, isn't it? So I sort of agree with this. We, like I said before we did this show, me and Mark sort of spoke, because there's a couple of songs that we have spoken about. Obviously, we've done a lot of shows together that we don't like. I think on our Dio,
And this was the first one, wasn't it?
yeah.
For example, Slipping Away up on
Yeah. When I messaged you guys last night, I said this is an example of a bad song on a great album, Slipping Away.
Yeah.
I don't think you guys agree with that, but well, I know Dominic.
Well,
does.
no, I mean,
Well.
it's not a song that I'm hugely fond of,
No.
but I can't say that I'm just like, ugh, when it comes on.
Yeah. Don't think I'd actively skip it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I've sort of got my list out here, and I didn't know which ones I'm going to choose. So I'm sort of what I'm going to choose. I'm going to do a Maiden one because Jam's mentioned Maiden. I thought I'd go for Maiden first thing. So this is one of Jam's favourite albums, I think. So it's off of Somewhere in Time.
Yeah.
And I just think this is a bad song, really. This is just a bad song. So this is not one that's just not as doesn't live up to the rest. It's just, and it's Heaven Can Wait.
Oh, that's
Wow.
cool. I love that song.
Don't
I like that song. Yeah.
Don't like the chorus. Heaven Can Wait. Just don't like it. I just think it's a bit too obvious.
And quite repetitive as well.
Yeah,
I
it
give
is
you
a
that.
bit. Yeah, it is, yeah.
Quite repetitive. Yeah. I mean, to tell you the truth, it's not up there with my top Maiden albums, but I still love it. So it was good enough to make this list as a brilliant album. But Heaven Can Wait is just, nah. I mean, it was the introduction of the guitar synths as well, especially in this song. I think was the main song that had them. But it just, for me, it just didn't work. It didn't work at all. I don't mind the verses, but they're not brilliant either. But that chorus, man, not good.
Dio don't like it either.
Dio's getting the ump.
Always funny. Yeah.
Dio's getting it. The dog's getting the ump because of Mark just chose a Sabbath song. He's got
Dio song. Yeah, he did.
All right.
Also,
cool.
the thing about Heaven Can Wait is always when he does it live, it's like Heaven Can Wait, and then the second time he's like Heaven Can. Heaven Can.
Yeah.
You know, let the audience do it every single time.
Exactly.
Heaven Can.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not a good song for me, obviously, but James' favourites by the looks of it. So I've upset one person. Come on.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's not my favourite song on the album, but it's certainly one. I was trying to think of the one that you were going to think of. I can't even remember what it is now myself.
Well, you got some that other people don't like. I think a bit like Deja Vu. I like Deja Vu.
Deja Vu is one of my favourites. That's great.
Yeah, it's a great song. But there are some.
I was afraid you were going to say "Stranger in a Strange Land" because that's my second favorite.
Some people don't like that, do they?
Strange
Land's great.
Yeah, good song. Good song. Okay, Jam, back to you, mate, for your second choice.
Okay then. Well, we're sticking with another big band then. One of the biggest, one of the hottest, in fact, and it's Kiss from 1992's Revenge album, and it's a song that shouldn't be on the album in the first place, and that is, and Darren won't like this because he loves this song. I saw it in one of his videos. It's God Gave Rock and Roll to You Too. I can't stand it. I didn't like it in the first place. I saw it in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, which is what it was recorded for. I didn't like it then, and it shouldn't be on this album. It wasn't included when they recorded the album afterwards, and they stuck it on just to make some extra money, which is typical. I don't think it fits in with the album. It's quite heavy. Revenge is for Kiss is quite heavy, and I just think they've stuck it in the middle just to sell extra albums. So I don't like it.
I don't particularly like that song either. But there you go.
I love it.
I always got rock and roll in it.
It's actually made me cry if I'm drunk enough.
Do you like it, Mark? 'Cause you're a big Kiss fan, yeah.
That's my least favorite on the album. I actually thought he was going to probably pick Spit. That would have been the other one.
Or Take It Off.
I love that one.
You're red-blooded American male. Of course you'll love it.
Of course.
No, I love this song. Plus it's a very melancholy song, obviously because it was Eric Carr's last appearance in a video. He had to wear a wig because he had already lost all of his hair. So when I hear that, I think of that.
There's no need to make Jam feel bad.
I don't feel bad.
No, he shouldn't feel bad. No way.
Was the video done?
But I love it. Yeah.
Well, the video was done, I presume, a year earlier because I say it was on the soundtrack. So because he did play on.
Yeah, because Eric Singer is on Revenge because he had already, Eric Carr had already died.
Got you. I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, mate. All right.
It's got the car jam on it, hasn't it? At the end, it's got the car jam, hasn't it? It was one of the tracks at the end.
All you Kiss fans out there, just let us know what you think of Jam's choice there. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Dom,
I'm really
what do you got?
surprised I'm the only supporter of this song out of the four of you, but hey, what do you know? Is it my turn?
Yes, mate.
Okay. Well, let's slaughter some more sacred cows. Okay. This is from the first Van Halen album.
Oh, fucking hell.
Ooh.
And this is I'm the One.
What?
Never liked this song. Never liked it. I think it's just like kind of a throwaway boogie.
Is it a should do with the what bit? Is that the bit? You
Yeah,
don't like?
and then the chorus is show your love, show your love, show.
If I don't like it anymore, you fucking put me right off of that fucking song.
It doesn't. It just does. You know, God bless them. Everyone knows I love Van Halen.
Yeah.
But you know, there's got to be a stinker, and that's the one for me. I just never have liked it, even as a kid when I had the record. And it was good because it was the last song on side one, so I could always just kind of stop it.
You know what I was
But,
looking? I was trying to, because I'm trying to go for some popular things that people know, like the songs. I was looking at Van Halen and I was thinking, I think there's sometimes too many stinkers on an album. Those fuck around songs that they do.
They have plenty of those, yeah.
But, how can you choose one of them? Because that's one of the things they're known for as well. They might have 2 or 3 of them on one album, especially, one with one.
Especially Diver Down.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
So it's like, it's weird that they haven't got one stinker. Sometimes they have a couple that are a bit of a jam session, don't they? Or a fuck around. But
Right.
it's a surprising one though, mate. That'd be a bit controversial, so well done. I love it.
Hooray!
Right, Mark, could you be more controversial than Dom?
I don't know. Since Jam brought up Kiss, I'm going to stay with Kiss for a minute. This is the album that a lot of people say is their best album ever. I don't agree with that, but it's probably definitely their most successful. Destroyer.
Well, Destroyer, yeah.
Sweet Pain.
All right.
This does nothing for me. This was one of the first songs that Ace didn't show up for in the studio, and they had a studio guitarist come in and play the guitar parts. The biggest thing I don't like about it, it's got the female backing vocals, which
controversial.
I don't mind female vocalists in general. In fact, I'm wearing a shirt, and this goes for the reality. This was an all-girl Sabbath tribute band. So I don't mind girl singers, but I hate the female backing vocals.
The kind of soulful kind of backing vocals on hard rock songs.
Exactly. They were, this was probably Bob Ezrin's idea. They were trying to take Kiss, get them away from that raw sound and get them a little more mainstream. And that was popular at the time, but it just doesn't work to me. And it's just an overall weak song. Later in their catalog, they did that same thing with Silver Spoon that was on Hot in the Shade. Great song, but at the end they bring
got everything but much to lose. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm like, you really didn't need that. It was a great song. Why fuck it up?
Paul Stanley could do his own soul vocals now. Now he's got
he does. Soul Station. Yeah.
Exactly. Good choice though, mate. I mean, it's always bad calling out your favourite band. I know that. This is one of my favourite bands I'm going to call out now. This is going to be very controversial, I think. So, Queensryche. So, I'm
going to be from one of their great albums, though, right? It can't be.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
it is from Tribe or anything.
It is. Yeah, exactly. So, we're not choosing like a bad 15 years now. We're just choosing a bad song. So, this is off of Empire.
Ooh.
It might not be the song you're thinking about because I quite like Silent Lucidity. Actually, I like that song because some people might think that that song doesn't really fit what they've done. It sort of doesn't, but it had a nice build, and I actually love that song.
I love it. Yeah.
I'm going to go for Della Brown.
Oh, I love that song. That's great.
Now, for me, it just brings a bit of a halt to the album. it doesn't really go anywhere, this song. And it feels, and if you think about it, I love Empire, by the way. It's an absolutely superb album. But that's,
well, we all think these are great albums, so yeah. We don't even have to. Yeah.
But that song, it almost feels like, and Jeff Tate had some of the songwriting credits in this, by the way. It's DeGarmo, him, and I think it was Rockenfield. But this almost feels like the start of the self-indulgent bullshit that fucking Jeff Tate did for the next, God, so many years.
Still doing.
Still doing, yeah, exactly. So, I mean, even the next album, which people try and hang on to, like, oh yeah, that's still a great album. Yeah, it was all right, Promised Land. But I think the signs were there in Empire slightly. But Empire's a great album, by the way, obviously. Yeah. But the signs were there for the self-indulgent shit that was to come in a few years' time. And Della Brown is that. And like I said, I think this could be one of them songs where if I heard another band do it, I think, yeah, that's all right, actually. But Queensryche, high expectations at this point. I mean, The Warning, Rage for Order, Operation Mindcrime, that, you know, you could say that they are in my, all three of them albums could be in my favorite albums of all time. And then I think there was a slight dipping form on Empire for me. So,
and Della Brown, that bitch, that's it. That's her fault.
Yeah. And the song, like I said, doesn't really go anywhere, does it? It starts and it ends the same. No build.
It's really atmospheric, though. I just think it sounds really good. It's one of them songs that sounds really good, very, very loud. It's just got the atmosphere of it. It's the slow beat, and I just like it.
What the album did have going for it was a huge sound, and you mentioned that before, Jam. That it's just unbelievable, massive. And that helped that song a little bit, but not too much for me. But there you go, Della Brown. What do you think of that? Okay, back to Jam. We're on number 3, I think.
Yeah, because I think because we obviously going to do another show. I've got some big hitters, but I'm going to probably save some of them for the other one. So I'm going to go for probably a couple of perhaps songs you don't know now. So, well, obviously doing one at a time. So you guys probably wouldn't know this because I think they're more of my type of music, my later time music. This Opeth from the 2008 album called Watershed. Now, I don't know if you guys know Opeth at all, but they're like...
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, they started off as death metal bands, you know, and it's a lot of Cookie Monster vocals and stuff like that, and they're completely changed now. I mean, some of their albums now are just pretty much acoustic and
70s
none
prog.
of that at all.
70s
prog,
and
definitely prog. Yeah, they did Heritage, and it was fans.
I like them now. I did like them before when they were so schizophrenic. Exactly. But I like them if they're all one thing now.
I mean, listen to Blackwater Park or something like that. Brilliant album. That's when they started mixing it up. Deliverance and Damnation. They released 2 albums. One was heavy, one was acoustic. They've done some lot of varied stuff, and some stuff now is brilliant. But Watershed is their last one with sort of Cookie Monster vocals, very heavy. The whole album is really heavy, but it opens with a song called Coil. Now, it's got a female duet with the singer Michael, whatever his name is, and it's an acoustic song basically, and it's absolutely fantastic. I love the song. I love the song completely. I play it all the time. It's just brilliant, like a folk song, but I just don't think it fits in with the album. I know they did it on purpose, but it just doesn't. They do this, and then it just goes into mental heaviness after that. I just don't know why they put it on the album. It doesn't.
No, it's a really bad fit. It's a really bad fit.
They did it on purpose. I mean, they thought about it because they were going to open with the first track, which I can't remember what it is. It's Hex Omega or something like that. And they decided to include this as the first track. And I just don't think it fits, but it's a fantastic song. It fits in with modern Opeth, but it just doesn't fit on the album.
Bad fit on a great album then for you,
especially for an opener. But
strange to open the song like Melancholy as well. But it is. Have a listen to the song though, you'll like it if you like that sort of music. Sort of
I actually did like that first delve properly into their acoustic stuff. What you said, that Damnation, is it?
I get confused. Damnation and Deliverance. One's a heavy and one's a light one.
Whatever the acoustic.
I think it's Damnation is a light one. Songs like Window Pane and stuff like that are brilliant on there. They're really good. So.
Yeah. Okay, mate. Yeah. Cool. All right, Dom, what's your third choice, mate?
Okay, needless to say, it's another album that I love, but here we go. Scorpions' Love Drive. This is Coast to Coast. Ooh. I do not understand the appeal of this song. Every time you see him, they do it, and it's 8 minutes of just the same riff over and over and over again. The crowd goes nuts as it builds, but it doesn't really build. It's just the same. It doesn't go anywhere, and it's an instrumental. It is just every time you go see Scorpions, you always know you can take a piss while Coast to Coast comes on. Yeah, I don't get the appeal of it. You know.
The funny thing is when you said about one riff there, you got I know what you're saying. I love the song, by the way, but it's really funny because Matthias Jabs is doing the more difficult bit, which is da 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 da, where Rudolf Schenker's literally going dun, 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 all the way through it. I mean, I could even play it. I could play that.
And then don't forget live. Klaus puts on a guitar too.
Yeah.
So they really have nothing to do.
I love that song. I don't know why.
Listen, a lot of people love it. It always gets a really strong reaction live. I've never understood it.
and I'm not a big instrumental person, so
yeah.
I don't know. I think it's got a certain feel to it that the Scorpions have.
I mean, most people, of course, think this. I guess because it's certainly a barnstormer. I've never seen a Scorpions show where they haven't done it.
Yeah,
but Jesus.
Gives Klaus a rest anyway, doesn't it? Gets him to sort his hair out, you know what I mean? Backstage.
Like the rest of us.
Yeah.
Some of the legend of that song might be that Michael Schenker wrote that song.
Yeah, maybe.
He's obviously highly regarded by me and a lot of other people, but I think maybe that's got something to do with the appeal of that song. I don't know. I do. I'm like Lee. I'm not huge on instrumentals, but I do like that.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's the only thing left between Rudolph and Michael, really, because they haven't spoken in years.
Yeah. Surprised they play it. To tell you the truth, sort of dropped it straight away. There you go.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, exactly. What you got there, Mark?
All right, I'm gonna go to another one of my favorite bands. I'll be curious to hear your opinion on this one. Iced Earth, from Incorruptible, Seven-Headed Whore. I've often said that one of the beauties of Iced Earth is that they're very heavy, but they're very melodic at the same time. This song has no melody. It's just it's almost a return to their early thrash type style, and I'm not opposed to that. But it's just frantic, just very fast. Just doesn't have any melody in it.
This came on in the car the other day. My missus just looked at me and said, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, it's almost like extreme. It's almost like extreme metal. And it's got if you listen to the lyrics or read the lyrics, you probably can't understand them if you're listening to them. It's got John Schaefer's political hidden messages in there, but
oh God, here we go.
It's just very, very frantic and just doesn't have any melody to it. I've often said I like heavy, but it's got to have melody to it. Yeah. This song just doesn't have any melody to it.
Well, weirdly enough, I do like that song. I have got an Iced Earth song, but I think I'm going to save that for our next show. Okay. So, but yeah, interesting. I love Iced Earth though. I don't think we're going to hear much of them anymore, but there you go. No. Right. Okay. So we're on track 3, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I've got to get to Striper then, just in case I miss it. So, Striper, To Hell with the Devil, their biggest album, All of Me.
Yeah.
Just not good, just real soppy. I mean, they made some great ballads, to tell you the truth, even before this, First Love being one of their best songs, I think. All of Me is just, I mean, honestly, nearly kicked it, but it just got that missed it because it had a bit of a build and it had a bit of guitar coming. All of Me is just, I mean, they even recorded the whole album recently live at Spirit House and left this one off.
They've pulled one of those, huh?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people were asking the question. People are guessing why they left it off. That oh, because it ain't the whole band, because it's a keyboard and Michael's voice. I think it's just because it's shit.
Shit, yeah.
No, I
Good
just
reason
don't.
to leave it off, isn't it?
It's just real soppy. I sometimes think when I hear something like this, I think that some people, especially Striper fans as well, because it's Striper, it doesn't matter what they do. It's brilliant. Now, if someone else came along and sang this song, and it was another band, and it was this song, Striper fans wouldn't like this song.
I agree.
They would think.
I don't think any artist or band is untouchable. I don't think anybody. I don't understand these people that just worship everything they do because it's them. It's like you got to have some sort of opinion, or step back and I don't know.
I mean
I've never understood that.
I mean, really, I shouldn't even be talking about it on this program because it's not rock. It's just, it's just sloppy. Like, just, I don't know what to call it.
Is it like a Darren song?
Yes, Darren would love it. Sorry, Darren. Darren couldn't actually make it. He could make this show at the weekend. I said it's too late, mate. You're going to miss out. So we can have a go at Darren while he's not here.
Well, I've already slated one of his songs, gave rock and roll to you too. So
exactly.
He's hearing present.
Okay, choose wisely, guys, because I think we're going to have time to do 2 more, but we're on track 4 now.
Okay, right. I'll do another one. This will be quick anyway, because I don't think you guys will know it. It's quite obscure, but and I've got perhaps a big hitter for my last one, a bit bigger anyway. This is a band called Satellite Party. As you probably saw in my last video, I'm a fan of Jane's Addiction, and the singer's Perry Farrell, and he did this band called Satellite Party. The album's called Ultra
This is the one that had Nuno Betancourt on it.
Yeah, Nuno Betancourt.
Okay.
It's really, really good album. 2007, I think, it came out. And every song on it is really good. And it's a bit different. If you like sort of Jane's Addiction, it's a bit alternative, as I said. It's pretty heavy, and it's got some good bits in it. But, well, in fact, all of it's good. But the last song, he's bought some rights to something to do with Jim Morrison, and he's got some of his some of his spoken poetry. And this song called Woman in the Window has got Jim Morrison doing poetry, and there's music to it. And they made it into a song, but it sounds slightly wrong. And I don't know if they've had to change the timing and slowed it down slightly. You can tell it's Jim Morrison, but it just sounds right. See the woman in the window. It's just weird, and I weirdly sort of like it, but it just doesn't fit in with the rest of the album. The rest of the album sort of partying and rock and roll and all that, and this just doesn't fit in. Even though I do like the song, so you got to hear it. It's bizarre. If you can find it on Spotify, have a listen to it. It's a very strange song.
To quote the great Lee Spencer, out of all the songs that we've discussed, this is the one that I want to hear the least.
The least.
I was just about to say that.
if you like Jim Morrison, though, it's worth listening to. But it's interesting.
I was just
I've got to
thinking.
hear it now because how weird it is.
I was really thinking that especially when Jan done his little bit of vocals there, I was thinking I really don't want to listen to this song.
That's how it goes, and I can't sing. That's how it goes.
Sign me up.
Yeah. Right. Cheers, Jan. Brilliant. Okay, what you got, Don?
Bless. Oh God. Okay. Another classic album, Black Sabbath, Paranoid.
Oh.
I'm picking Rat Salad.
Mm.
It's basically just a drum solo.
Drum solo, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. There's like a little bit of a riff at the beginning, a little bit of riff at the end, but the rest is it's like a drum solo. No one likes him in concert. I don't know why you'd want to put it on a studio album, but hey ho.
The Led Zeppelin one as well, I mentioned before, there's just a drum solo. That's rubbish as well. I can't remember what it was called now, but went on for hours as well.
Yeah,
Sorry.
So
Yeah.
Paranoid obviously has its share of absolutely legendary, monumentally influential tracks, but Rat Salad is not one of them. I don't even really like Planet Caravan that much, to be honest. But Rat Salad really, I mean, it's not even a song, to be honest. It's just your typical drum solo.
That sounds terrible. That's when I walk out of concert. When I go to concerts, that's when I take a piss as well. drum
That's
solo.
yeah.
We'll go to the bar. Yeah, Jam. We'll go to the bar. So, okay, what you got there, Mark?
All right. This one will be a quintessential example of what we're talking about here. Great album with just a shit song. I love this album. Love this band. Journey.
Oh man, I think I've got this one. I think I've got this. This was going to be my next one, but nah, go on.
Take a guess. Take a guess.
Back Talk.
Yes.
Oh, fucking what a shit song.
All right, you can give your 2 cents, but I hate this fucking song.
Yeah.
I can't imagine why they put it on this album.
Yeah.
As great as this album was, surely they had to have something else in the coffers they could have pulled out if they needed to, throw another song on here. This song just sucks.
Do you know what this sort of reminds me of? And I know people say this is nothing like that song. It's a bit like Slipping Away. It's got that off of the Black Sabbath album. It's got that sort of all over the place feel to it.
Yeah, it's just not cohesive. I hate that stuttering back talk. Steve Perry, one of the best singers of all time. Why do they need to throw that in there? I mean, it's just terrible.
Isn't this the album that they removed Only the Young at the last minute?
Yeah, I believe it was those sessions. Yeah, that.
So couldn't they have put Only the Young, which is such a great track, instead of Back Talk?
Right, that's a fucking brilliant choice, and that's actually one of when I was thinking about doing this show. That was one of the first ones I thought of.
You know what's funny though? I was reading as I was listening to it, trying to remember how shitty it was. There were a lot of comments on YouTube. People love it. I don't know. I don't know how people's ears can be so different. I mean, that's
just doesn't fit in with that album whatsoever. That's a great choice, though, mate. That's a fucking excellent choice. You know what? I might go with my Ice Earth one now because you took that one. I'm going to go to the Dystopia album, which is another recent one. It was 2011. The first one was Stu Block. Yeah. I'm like you. I love. Now, this has got a bit too much melody for Ice Earth because what it is, they are a dark power metal band, as people like to say. And I'm not a huge power metal fan, but when it's dark power metal and it's really heavy, that's when I love it. This is almost too happy for them. This is tragedy and triumph.
Okay. Yeah.
It's almost like a happy, not quite Halloween happy. We're not talking like that, but it doesn't sound like them. It doesn't sound like them. They're such a dark band and a real evil listen sometimes, even though they got melody, they're a proper like evil listen. But this is almost fucking, you're going like that with your head listening to it. It's not good, it's just not got the feel of Iced Earth. And stick it with another band, I'll be like, that ain't too bad, but just doesn't fit that band whatsoever. And the sound of the album, this really heavy album, it just doesn't sound good at all. I think they might have done two others like that, a couple of others like that. But on this album, Tragedy and Triumph is, and it's about 6 or 7 minutes long as well. So it's of happiness. There you go. Power metal can't be happy. It has to be.
Are you saying this is something Ken Tamplin could have done?
Oh yeah, not as happy as Ken Tamplin, mate. Not that happy, no. We like you. We like you, Mark. That's how we like our Americans, like you. And Dom, of course.
I guess I count as well.
Yeah, definitely. Right. Okay. Good. I can't believe you've done Back Talk though. That just shows you how shit that song is. Okay.
I wish Darren was here to give his opinion on that one because I know he'd have an opinion on that.
To tell you the truth, I reckon Darren that'd be his least favourite on there. That's my guess because it's the least melodic. It's very all over the place. Yeah. He must have done a Frontiers review. I'm going to check it out after this. So there you go. All right, Jam, your last choice, mate. What you got for the
last
big
one?
choice?
Yeah, I think I've touched on this before. I think recently actually, and it's a double header because it's two bands doing the same song badly, and that is Megadeth and Motley Crue, both doing Anarchy in the UK / USA. One from So Far So Good So What, and the other from Decade of Decadence. Just no. Sorry, nothing to do with Americans. You can't cover Anarchy in the UK if you're an American band. It's like an English band doing Born in the USA. It's not for covering, and it doesn't work. And you know, the Megadeth versions, the song is okay because they're a thrash band, so they've got punk influences. That's fine. The songs are right, but he didn't even bother looking up the lyrics. The lyrics are wrong. He's got the lyrics. He just made them up into what he thought they sounded like. So that annoys me. But the song itself is okay. But the Motley Crue version is just shit. They completely change all the lyrics. No, sorry, no. They're not punk bands, especially 10 years after Decade of Decadence. They're not nothing to do with punk. They shouldn't be playing that song, as far as I'm concerned. It shouldn't be on the album. It spoils a good compilation album putting that on there. Because the other songs on there, the covers they did are quite good. And obviously the best of is good. But no, don't do Anarchy in the UK if you're not English. Sorry.
I completely agree. I mean, there's no point. Well, there's really no point in covering it because it's such a song of its time and era. You know what I mean? But for an American cover it is absolutely ridiculous.
The thing is, both bands play it live as well. Megadeth played it live all the time, and Motley Crue even did it live for quite a while.
And didn't Mustaine, weren't they in? Didn't he say something about in Belfast? He said, "Oh, this is a song for all of you," or whatever. Didn't realize.
Oh, fuck me. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a big stink, I think, in the late 90s or the late 80s or early 90s, where he made some mention where he didn't know about the separation. Obviously, just thought they're all happy, United Kingdom.
Oh yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, Dom, what you got on your last one, mate?
My last one. I'm not sure. Well, okay, I'm just gonna go for it. From Led Zeppelin 4.
Oh, controversial.
Which is many people's favorite rock album of all time.
Yeah.
The Battle of Evermore.
Oh, I like that song. I don't even like Led Zeppelin. I like that song.
Yeah. I like Led Zeppelin 4.
Sorry?
So I like Led Zeppelin 4. I mean, they're all good on there. But...
No, it's a duet with Sandy Denny from Fairport Convention. Their voices just do not match. I don't know how this song gets a pass. It is so out of tune. And when they're trying to harmonize, and it's painful. I remember the first time I heard it, I was in my late teens because I had only heard like Whole Lotta Love and stuff like that. And I was just sitting there going, this is where and it's about Lord of the fucking Rings, which give me a break. Yes.
I like Lord of the Rings.
So do I.
No, I like sex, drugs, and rock and roll, mate.
Yeah, well, that's good as well.
No, it's just one of those songs that, wow, I just think is shockingly. I was just reading up on it because coming up for the show, and it was like Jimmy Page said he'd never played mandolin before, and he just picked it up, and then they wrote that song. I was like, yeah, it fucking sounds like it, mate. It sounds like you've never played it before. And you just jammed it, and and that was it, because it doesn't go anywhere. It's doesn't have any changes or anything. It's just, oh man. Anyway, I'm sure lots of people hate me for that, but what can I say?
We don't talk about Zeppelin a lot, really, do we? Because they don't come into the show a bit. But I'm not a huge fan anyway. But there you go. I quite like that one.
I do like Led Zeppelin, but I don't like the Battle of Evermore.
Okay, cool. Good last choice, mate. What you got, Mark?
All right, this is going to be my least favorite Striper song. Not off of To Hell with the Devil, but off of In God We Trust. Come to the Everlight.
I know what that is. Yeah, Come to the Everlight. Oh, yeah.
What's the song called? Sorry?
Come to the Everlight.
Oh.
It gets my vote as the worst song in the entire Striper catalog. Nothing about it I like. I don't know. What's your opinion, Lee?
Is it a rocker? Is it a ballad? Or what is it?
No, it's just kind of mid-pace. It's not a ballad. It's not a heavy rocker. It's just kind of a
mid-tempo.
Yeah, just.
It's a really. I mean, it's so sweet. It's just sickly.
Just filler. And I hate to say it because it's one of the few songs that Oz Fox wrote. people wonder why Michael hogs all the songwriting. Well,
That's why.
this is kind of the reason. I mean, for the most part, his songs, he's had a few that I don't care for, but this is not a good song for Striper or anybody else as far as I'm concerned.
But the album didn't have a good sound, as in it was so sweet, that late 80s sweetness that a lot of the albums had.
Yeah.
But it was an extra sweet song as well on top of that. And yeah, it didn't work very well at all. Yeah, good choice, mate. I actually thought about that one. I was nearly had that one. So I thought I kind of two Striper ones. It's just, bad.
A little like victimization.
Yeah, exactly. So my last one is a bit of an unknown band. I've mentioned them a lot, but the song is well known because it's a cover. And it's a cover from the most overrated band that ever existed. Ever.
Must be the Beatles.
Yes. Well done, mate. Yes, the Beatles. So
I knew that you didn't like them already, or you're not a fan.
So one of my favorite bands in the 80s, and they brought out two albums. I've mentioned these a lot of times, is White Sister. Yeah, so their second album, Fashioned by Passion, which was great, by the way. Both albums were fantastic. They threw Ticket to Ride on there. And the worst thing is that it sounded like the original. It's just like, hardly any difference in it. A few more harmonizing vocals, but you know when albums are like back then were 35 minutes long.
Yeah,
they just need to be all good, don't they? And they need to be all originals, And I was so disappointed with Ticket to Ride. I hate.
Think I'm gonna be sad. I think it's the day.
It's like my ears are fucking bleeding listening to it, especially to you singing it.
Yeah, and to them. Yeah.
I mean, I've got to say, I know it's a different band, but Motley Crue kicked White Sister's ass doing Helter Skelter.
Right.
And that is heavy as fuck, isn't it?
Yeah. That's the heaviest song Beatles ever did. That's why everybody covers them.
And that really, they even ramped up the heaviness on that. That actually make me like that song. I don't like the original because it's the Beatles. But their cover's really good, but I can't stand the band. Can't stand that cover. And so disappointed that one of my favourite bands covered it. And I know they're highly thought of by people, but honestly, I can't.
The Beatles started. I like the Beatles. I can't really fault them.
No, I mean, I would never say that I dislike the Beatles. obviously, they're kind of shoved down your throat, but
yeah.
What they accomplished in 7 years is just quite remarkable.
I just think McCartney's voice is just so bad as well, really bad. But that's just my opinion of the Beatles.
Yeah, of course.
There you go. There's a lot of bands I don't like, but
slaughtering sacred cows as we go.
So I didn't actually. I might not have slagged the band that many people know about, but I definitely slagged the song that people will know about. So there you go. Yeah. Ticket to Ride, awful song, awful cover. At least change it to make it sound half decent. There you go. I don't like it when bands just completely just do exactly the same song. I don't see the point in that.
Yeah, no. I know what you mean. Especially
change the lyrics.
Or the lyrics.
Sorry?
Changing the lyrics. Even worse.
Well, especially when it's like a hard rock or a metal band or something. I mean, you got to at least turn the guitars up a bit or something. You know?
Yeah, I agree. This was just
put a little riff in there.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember reading the review in my beloved Kerrang, as it was good back then, saying it was such a masterpiece of a cover, and I was like,
"Oh, really?
Yeah, you don't know what you're fucking talking about. You ain't got a clue." Guys, this has been really good fun. I've probably got enough for another. If I had a couple more, because we've had a couple of repeats, I've got enough. I would be able to salvage one more show, I reckon. It ain't the easiest thing to do, is it? Because you're trying to think of a good album, and most of the time, the albums you love are just packed with all good songs. But if you delve deep enough, there will be some there.
Yeah, I think there's always, very rarely there's not at least one that you could take off and be quite happy with.
And also, if people comment below, they might give us some ideas for the next
Yeah.
show. We won't tell you if we're going to choose them, but they, you know, they might, because there's so many songs about in there that it might prompt us to have a couple of ideas. But also, let us know about all the songs that we chose and what you think.
Oh God.
I've enjoyed it. I'm gonna have to call it bad songs on great albums, because I can't say all the subject that we chose, you know, because there's so much to cover. But I'm sure we've you know, explained it enough. It's not just about a bad song. There's the other reasons behind it. So thanks for joining me, guys, as always. And I'm really looking forward to part 2. Start getting your list together, and we'll do another show. How do you feel about that? Might even squeeze another one in. You never know.
Yeah, I'll have a look and see what else I can upset people with.
All right, thanks, guys. And
I'm good when y'all are.
yeah, exactly. No, I didn't see any programs or confetti coming out today, though, Mark. I'm a bit disappointed.
No.
All right, guys, thanks for joining me. And
All right.
comments below, please. Looking forward to it.
Cheers.
See you later, boys.
See you guys.